So you're planning a trip down under? Awesome. But before you start packing, we need to talk about something crucial. Australia's Electronic Travel Authority, or ETA. We're going to break down everything you need to know about this essential travel visa, the Subclass 601, right here, right now.
So, here's what we're covering. We'll start with what the ETA actually is, your digital key really. Then, what to expect when you arrive, what you can and can't do, the rules you absolutely have to follow, and finally, how long your visa actually lasts. Let's get into it.
First up, let's talk about your digital key to Australia. Because there is one single detail about your ETA that is so critical, you just can't afford to get it wrong.
Okay, so what is an electronic travel authority anyway? Well, think of it as official permission to hop on a plane and enter Australia. But the key thing to remember is that word electronic. This isn't a sticker, it's not a stamp, it's a digital link, and it's tied directly to your passport. And that brings us to the big question, the one that trips up way too many travelers. What is the single most important thing you absolutely have to know about your ETA?
Here it is. It's so simple, but so vital. Your ETA is not linked to you. It's digitally chained to the one specific passport you used when you applied. That exact document and nothing else.
And listen, this rule is non-negotiable. If that passport changes for any reason, it expires, you lose it, it gets stolen, you just decide to get a new one, poof, your ETA is gone. The digital link is broken, and you have to apply for a brand new ETA with your new passport. No exceptions.
All right, so you've got the right passport, you've got a valid ETA linked to it. What happens when you land? Let's talk about arriving and departing, what you can actually expect at the Australian border.
The good news is the arrival process is pretty smooth. First, before you even leave home, just double check. Do I have a valid ETA? Am I carrying the exact passport it's linked to? Cool. Once you land, you'll fill out a quick incoming passenger card. And here's a pro tip. Look for the smart gate signs. They use facial recognition, and it's usually way faster. So you've breezed through the border. Welcome to Australia. Now, what can you actually do while you're here? Let's get into what is and isn't allowed on an ETA.
The ETA is actually pretty flexible for short trips. You can, of course, visit family and friends, go on a holiday, take a cruise. You can even study or do some training, as long as it's for less than 3 months. And you can also act as a business visitor, but that term has some very specific rules attached to it. And this is where we need to be really clear. As a business visitor, you can make general business inquiries, you can negotiate contracts, you can go to an unpaid conference. But what you can't do is work for an Aussie business, provide services to them, or sell anything directly to the public. That's a whole different kind of visa.
Okay, moving on to the non-negotiables. This is all about staying on the right side of the rules and making sure your trip goes off without a hitch.
This is the big one. It's really simple. You have to meet every single one of your visa conditions. And of course, you have to obey Australian laws. There's just no wiggle room on this.
So how do you make sure you know what your conditions are? Well, the government has made it super easy. You can use their online system, which is called VEVO. That stands for Visa Entitlement Verification Online. Or even easier, just use the Visa check button right inside the official Australian ETA app on your phone.
But what happens if you don't stick to the rules? What if you're found to have breached your visa conditions?
Well, the consequences are serious. Your ETA could be canceled on the spot. You might be refused entry at the border, even with a ticket. Or you could even be removed from Australia. This is exactly why you have to take those conditions seriously. All right, let's get to our final section, your visa's time limit. We're going to break down how long it's valid for, how many times you can visit, and how long you can actually stay. One of the best things about the ETA is that it allows for multiple entries. That means while the visa is valid, you can leave Australia and come back as many times as you want.
Now, I want you to remember this number, 3. It's the magic number when it comes to understanding how long you can actually be in the country. And here's why. You can stay in Australia for up to 3 months on each visit. See that? The clock resets every single time you enter the country. So it's not 3 months total. It's a maximum of 3 months per trip.
And this is super important. You cannot extend an ETA. There's no way to add more time to it. If you want to stay in Australia for longer than 3 months in one go, you must apply for a completely different visa before your current stay is up.
And let's finish up with a direct quote from the government because it really says it all. If you are found not to be a genuine visitor, your ETA may be canceled. At the end of the day, the ETA is for visiting. As long as that's your genuine intention, you'll be fine. Your main job is to always be a genuine visitor.